Hey everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Colourpop RawBeautyKristi at Forest site collection. You know what? I'm not sure if that's the collection's name or if it's just the palette, but I do have the entire collection here. And I'm going to do some swatches for you guys and also a look at the end of the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. So I'm going to start off with the palette at Forest site. This is what it looks like, and I'm going to insert swatches off of first impressions from the swatches that I did last night. This palette was so beautiful, so pigmented. Definitely just looking at the swatches from last night, it's my favorite Colourpop palette that I have by far, just pigmentation wise, not looking super patchy in the swatches. Favorite shades are definitely Chanterelle and Fiddlehead. I just love those two tones of shades. I'm super happy with this palette. I think the shimmers are absolutely stunning in this palette. The two here, Evergreen and West Coast. I am super happy with this palette, and you'll see how it performs later on in the video in the look that I did, which is this look. And now I'm going to talk about the liners. So we have Marigold, Woodsy, and Spare Time, and these are so incredibly creamy. I'm going to insert the swatches here again. They're super easy to work with, and I know just from other people talking about them previously that you do have to be super careful with this formula. These are the first gel liners that I've had from Colourpop. So far I haven't broken any of them. I used Woodsy on my waterline today, which you'll see later in the Get Ready With Me. But I love these shades, and they're so incredibly creamy and pigmented, especially this yellow, which I was afraid this one would be a little bit more patchy, but it's just so incredibly creamy and gorgeous on the lip. And then we have the Super Shock shadows. So we have the shade Like a Moss, which is what I used in today's look. We have Olympic, which is the more champagne-y shift. We have Mycelium, which is the more gold shift, and then we have Campfire, which is the bronzy orange shade. I love the Super Shock formula already, but these shades are absolutely stunning. Like a Moss is definitely my favorite just because I love the tone and shift of this color, but they're all incredibly gorgeous. What did I wear today? I wore Olympic on my lid today all day while I was at work before I came home and did this. But I'm super happy with these. I already know I love the formula, and I love these shades that she picked, and they coordinate so well with the palette. Last but not least, we have the two glosses from the collection. So we have the shade Glacier, which is the clear glittery one, and then we have Wildflower, which is the pink glittery one. I did use Wildflower later in the look. I don't notice any glitter payoff on it. It's not sparkly. It does just provide a nice sheen, which is really nice. So I'm excited to try out this one to see if there's maybe a little more glitter to it. But it doesn't feel like chunky glittery. It's just mixed in. I'm not a huge gloss wearer, but the formula so far has been really nice, and it's not super sticky, which I appreciate. So my overall first impression / review of the RawBeautyKristi Colourpop collection is that I absolutely love it. This is my favorite Colourpop collection that has come out in quite a while. All right, and now let's jump into the look. I'm going to go ahead and start with the At Forest site palette, and I think I'm going to go with a more grungy look using these three shades here and then a little bit of the purple, and then I might use this and then a Super Shock. So let's just get started. Alright, so my lids are primed with the P. Louise base in Rumor 0.5. I am first going to start off with the shade Puffball. I'm using a Morphe M433 brush. For one layer, that's actually not bad. There is some fallout, but I find that pretty standard with Colourpop eyeshadows, is a little bit of fallout, but it's easy to wipe away. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Chanterelle, and I'm going to use a Morphe M513. It's a little bit less dense than the previous brush I used, and I'm just going to buff out the edges with Chanterelle. This is such a gorgeous color. This would probably be really pretty too if you were to do like a cut crease and you put concealer down all over your lid and really pack this on your lid. It'd probably be so pretty. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Amanita, not sure how to say that, and I'm just using a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH38. It's just a really small pencil brush, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the outer corners of my eye. This is such a pretty purple, and it's honestly super pigmented right off the bat for a deeper purple. Usually you do have to build them up quite a bit. Oh, this is gorgeous. Now I'm going to take the first shade Puffball and just blend out those purple edges. Now I'm just going to take a little packer brush and use the shade West Coast all over my lid, and then I'm going to go in with a Super Shock shadow. I'm now just going to take a little bit more purple and blend that shade West Coast on my lid, just so that they're a little bit more blended and mixed together. And now I'm going to go in with the Super Shock in the shade Like a Moss, and it's the more greeny shift one. And I'm just going to take my finger and tap that right over the middle where the two shades meet and a little bit onto West Coast. And I love Kristi's tip that she shared about bringing it up into the crease, because that happens to me anyway since my eyes are hooded, and I feel like it really does make looks a little bit better and more, they look a little more put together when you do this technique. That way it doesn't look like glitter just kind of smudged up. It looks like it was purposely there. Just going to take a little bit of the purple and blend it out slightly, but not too much, because I don't want to take away from what we just did, which was kind of bring them together a little more. And now I'm going to take a little angled brush and use the shade PNW. If I didn't have the purple, I probably definitely would have used Fiddlehead, this like olivey green. I feel like PNW is really going to suit and go better with the purple, and I'm just going to put that on my lower lash line as another pop of color. This blue is so pigmented and really easy to work with. Alright, so I finished the eyes and I did add a little mascara, but I forgot to put on my bottom waterline. I'm going to use this shade Woodsy, just because I don't want to use the yellow or the green, because I did use purple and blue, so I just want to keep it neutral with the brown. And I've never used these Colourpop gel liners, but they are so creamy. They go on my lid just as good as my milk one, which I think is my favorite. That one doesn't really smudge on me, so we'll see how this one does. From what I heard though, they're pretty good liners. You just have to be careful with them so they don't break, because they're pretty fragile. Now I'm going to use one of the lip glosses. I'm not a huge fan of lip glosses, but I did want to buy the whole collection. I've never tried the lip gloss formula, but lip gloss just usually isn't my... Alright, so I just put on the lipstick in the shade Nude La La by Mented Cosmetics, and now I'm going to go in with the shade Wildflower, and it's the pinky glittery gloss. There's also Glacier, which is the clear one, and usually I don't wear gloss. I'm not really sure why, I'm just not a huge gloss fan. So there's not much shimmer. Based off that, I do have to wipe it off because it did transfer. But there's not much shimmer coming through, but I really don't want to dirty up the glitter one just yet, so I'm not going to apply that, but it does give a really nice shine. Alright, and that is the finished look using the RawBeautyKristi x Colourpop at Foresight collection. Just off of first impressions and swatching them last night as well, I really do like this collection. I have quite a few Colourpop palettes, and this is definitely my favorite by far. Pigmentation wise, blendability, I really, really love it. And the gel liners are super creamy and very pigmented. I really enjoy those. And the Super Shock shadows, I'm very familiar with that formula. I have other shades, but these shades in particular are so beautiful. And the shade that I used today, Like a Moss, is my favorite shade. I love the green shift it has. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below some video suggestions you'd like to see from me, and subscribe to see more. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!